Good morning, everyone. Check out this incredible haul from the coast today. These textures and colors are exactly what I was hoping to find. It's a bit slippery out here on the rocks, but the light is absolutely perfect. Let's head back and get to work on the next project.
Hey everyone. A lot of you guys have been asking me for an image to video guide and workflow. And finally, here it is. Using this setup, you will be able to generate native 720p, 24 fps, 20-second clips, even if you are rocking 8 gigs of VRAM and 32 gigs of system RAM. Before anything else, head over to your ComfyUI directory and hop into the update folder. If you are using the stable version, update using this file. And if you are running the nightly version like me, use this one instead. Next, open your ComfyUI window, pull up the ComfyUI manager, and hit the update all option. This is going to update your nodes and everything else. This is still such a new model that if you skip these steps, it simply won't work. Also, please stick around for the whole guide because even one small mistake can lead to a crash. Here's where you can check your current version. I'm using the nightly build, but keep in mind it can be a bit unstable sometimes. And right here are the details of my Python environment inside ComfyUI. Every generation you see in this video was tested within this exact environment. Now, check out these image to video generations to get a better feel for what you can expect from this model.
In the silence of these ruins, we didn't find the end of our story, but a cleaner beginning. The stone remains as a testament to what was, while the sun powers the dream of what is yet to come. It is a radical peace, whispered in the rustle of leaves and the pulse of the light.
I know. It looks like I'm living my best life, but I've actually been standing here for 20 minutes because my heel is stuck in this floor crack and I'm too proud to ask for help. I'm pretty sure a pigeon is judging my outfit from that ledge over there, and honestly, he might have a point. Does anyone know if they deliver smoothies to rooftops, specifically to people who are currently part of the architecture, asking for a friend who is me? Please don't tell my followers.
We are live in Oak Creek, and the sound is, it's like a freight train. The funnel it's just sitting there, but the wind it's incredible. We need to seek cover immediately.
There we go. Just a tiny adjustment. You see? Even the oldest machines want to find their rhythm again. It's finally breathing with the sun.
Now, if you are looking for perfect facial consistency and less morphing, I still think WAN 2.2 is still the better choice, provided you know how to integrate audio. Check out this comparison. As you can see, both models have their own strengths and weaknesses, depending on your specific use case. I'll drop the link to the WAN 2.2 guide in the pinned comment below. A lot of people get frustrated with their results and give up on the model because they aren't prompting correctly. Fortunately, a user on Reddit posted an amazing prompting guide, and I linked that in the pinned comment so you can check it out for yourself. It's a super helpful guide that will make a massive difference in your generations. Right here, you will find the links to all the models in this note. Download them if you haven't yet. Go to your ComfyUI directory, open the models folder, and toss these files into their respective folders. Now, this part is important. You need to drop the audio VAE model inside the checkpoints folder, not the VAE folder when you are using this specific workflow. Also, you don't need to download both the FP8 model and the Q5KM version. Just grab the one you prefer. The GGF version goes inside the unit folder, while the FE8 version goes inside the diffusion models folder. I personally use the Q5KM GGF version to generate those 20-second 720p clips because the FE8 version is 23 gigs, and I kept hitting out of memory errors on my 8 gigs card. However, keep in mind that the GGF format is significantly slower than the FE8 format. I know a lot of you prefer GGF because it doesn't stress your system quite as hard as the FE8 version does. If you are using the GGF version, make sure you are using the GGF loader. I've simplified the workflow so you only need to connect the model to this anything everywhere node. If you want to see exactly where these wires are going, right click in an empty space and select show UE links. Now you can see all the connections clearly. If you have more than 8 gigs of VRAM, or if you are looking to do shorter 720p 24 fps generations under 15 seconds and wants a speed boost, go with the FP8 version. Now, I don't recommend this for extensive sessions because it will significantly shorten the lifespan of your SSD or NVMe. So, if you go with FE8, use the diffusion model loader and simply connect it to the anything everywhere node. This next part is crucial. Only enable Sage Attention if you installed it properly and you are really familiar with how it works. Otherwise, make sure it's disabled or it will break your generation. Another common mistake is forgetting to click the drop down to manually select each model. This is a frequent oversight that leads to those annoying error messages. Here are your video settings. You can adjust the resolution, length, and frame rate right here. Next, we have our sampler. I'm using the oil ancestral here, and I've set the CFG to 1 since we are using the distilled version. Then we have our upscaling sampler. You can click here to go inside the subgraph. This is the sampler I'm using for this specific node. This is where you upload your image. The settings for this node are also very important. You can set the temporal tile length to 32, but if you start getting out of memory errors, dial that value back to 16. Here's the video combine node. If your generation isn't showing up, try changing the format to H264. Shout out to the supportive user from Russia for pointing that out. Check out one of my live generations to get a real world look at the VRAM and RAM usage. I hope this helps and let me know how it goes for you in the comments.